Thank you so much for joining us this evening. The SRU Jazz Ensemble is so excited to present to you our recording of A Message for Mobley. This features the great saxophonist Bob Reynolds. We did an East Coast, West Coast recording session with him, recording all of these parts separately and then bringing them all together. Tonight you're going to hear some fantastic playing by all the members of the SRU Jazz Ensemble, and you're also going to see some excellent video work and some audio recording work and editing and the whole giant, huge class project that we have here finally being presented to you tonight. So thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your evening to join us. We really think you're going to enjoy this production. Tonight we're going to have several of the students who volunteered to tell you about their experience of recording this special piece. You're going to hear from students who are in their first semester, and you're going to hear from some of the upperclassmen of the group as well. Everyone's really excited about getting this project out. We actually started rehearsing for this project about a year ago in February of 2020. Of course, no one expected the pandemic to have the effect that it did. However, we kept rehearsing, persevered, and decided to, instead of putting the project to the side, to go through with recording this and playing it with Bob Reynolds in a recorded fashion rather than in person last April. So this has been many months in the making, and we're so happy to present it to you. So thanks again for coming tonight.
Hi everyone.
Hey everybody, what's up?
Hey everyone.
Hi everyone.
Hey everybody.
Hi everyone.
Hey.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. So last break we were scheduled to have a jazz festival here at Slippery Rock University, but COVID-19 and the pandemic hit us right during the middle of our spring break, so everything was moved online to a virtual format. So we had to postpone most of our festival and our meeting with Bob Reynolds, who was scheduled to be our guest clinician there for our performance. And so we actually met with Bob Reynolds over Zoom, and we got to hear a bunch of his background, his history with music, and got a bunch of inspirational tips and ideas for what we could do while in a virtual setting and what we can do for future playing as jazz musicians.
Bob Reynolds is a saxophone player. He's in the LA scene a lot. He does a lot of recording sessions. He's the saxophone player with Snarky Puppy.
Yeah, Snarky Puppy's been a fantastic group to listen to and watch. I stumbled across a YouTube video once, and they had the audience members sitting with headphones on around the group. And Bob Reynolds was actually in that video playing saxophone, and they were playing Tio Macaco is the name of the song. And just a lot of energy, a lot of punch, a lot of great solos as well. And it was just a fantastic song and a fantastic group.
He was actually supposed to play our jazz festival in April, but Dr. Kush was actually able to get him to record with us remotely from his place in California.
Personally, I was through the roof about having an opportunity to share a stage with Bob Reynolds. When I first heard that we were going to have to ditch that concert, I was devastated. But all things considered, I would say that this is definitely the second best outcome that we could have gotten.
I know the saxophone section in particular is a really big fan of his work and his music, and we got to have a little master class with him over Zoom. It was really great to go into the studio and lay down a track for him and then see the end product with him playing over it, and definitely a really cool experience.
Yeah, last semester was very unusual for a multitude of reasons. We had to fight. We were outside most of the time when the weather permitted, and we had to fight against, got cold as the fall went on, or the wind blew our music around, which was fun. The university was good enough to provide us with tents and cover for the elements. As we had, being outside, there's rain and wind, and we had to weight down our music stands. And then from COVID especially, we had to wear playing masks. And we also put on bell covers over our instruments. So it was definitely a unique semester, something you don't really expect. Even a year ago in 2019, you wouldn't really think of this would be the reality a year.
We received a message from Mobley probably a couple months or so before we would actually go out to record it. So we worked as a band, we worked in sectionals, we worked individually, And when the day finally came, we all got out. We drove out to the vault in Pittsburgh as sections and recorded individually to comply with all the safety guidelines that the school had in place.
So first rhythm section would show up to the vault where we recorded our song, and they would record their tracks, and then the saxophones would follow, and then trombones and trumpets, so on and so forth. So being able to hear as a section, like hearing us together as a section, we had headphones that were layered into the soundtrack, where we could each hear ourselves and we could each dial in the amount of sound we could get as a section. So for example, if I wanted to hear more third or fourth trumpet, there'd be a dial or a switch on the board that we could just turn, and that way we'd be able to hear that. And so we set it up so where we could all balance and hear each other. Also on the headphones, you would hear a click track, and you could also hear the rhythm section, which recorded previously, which was really helpful in the way we recorded.
Going into the studio, it wasn't new for me, but every time I step in, it's a great feeling. It's that feeling of being a professional, being bigger than I normally think I am.
It was an environment where there was no judgment. They understood you're just getting into this and that's okay, and we are here to help you. And they worked really well with all of us and gave us all the direction that we could need.
I guess one plus of this COVID situation is we all got to really dive into the technology part of our careers and really build on that, so we're ready to go when we hit the professional world.
Dr. Kush asked me to take the lead on the video editing and the filming aspect for this project, and that was a lot of responsibility, but it was a great opportunity because I was able to edit a video with Bob Reynolds, John Shannon, and get to work with Dr. Kush and Clint Blyle and all these great musicians. This project is very close to me because my dad owns the Vault recording studio, and I've been involved with work from Jimmy Hoyson, who is the engineer. He's won 6 Grammys now, and he's done a lot of big band work out in LA and Capitol Studios. So our band got to work with the best of the best. So the editing itself took over 25 hours with the help of Clint Blyle aligning all the clips and dealing with the files. It was nice that I had the freedom to help visualize the music in the way that I wanted. It's just a lot different than what you normally see, especially in these quarantine times of just Brady Bunch boxes all the time.
I am an alumni of Slippery Rock University. I went from 2012 until 2017, studied under Jason Kush, played in the big band. So being able to work on this project with them was an honor for me, and it was very exciting. Jason Kush reached out to me about a year ago, right before the coronavirus pandemic sort of hit us, about doing this arrangement of Bob Reynolds' tune "Message from Mobley." And I couldn't have been more excited. I love Bob Reynolds, and it's great to have an amazing band play, any arrangement of mine. So I was happy to do it. And then when we decided that we were going to put together a full recording session with video and have Bob Reynolds recording, it was pretty exciting. I also was fortunate enough to be able to do the final mix for this project that you're about to hear. We recorded it at the Vault, which is an incredible recording studio, and I will definitely be back there for some of my own stuff. And we recorded everybody in sections, so what's unique about that with mixing is that you have a lot more isolation, so you can really hear the individual musicians a lot more than if there was just everybody in the same room. Hearing it kind of pieced together was it was really exciting.
The arts are able to persevere in really unique and amazing ways through everything that's gone on. My family was always asking me, what's the music department going to do now that you can't be in the same place with people, because that's what we do. We play music with other people, but we didn't give up.
This is also great for the university in that it entices people to come to Slippery Rock because it shows what we do and what we're about, getting these high-level guest artists in and doing performances and recordings with them.
The whole entertainment industry, performing and all that, is really, nobody's had the chance to do that, including us. So we had to make some compromises, but one of the biggest things we were able to do was do the recording. And that was it was nice that the university and Dr. Kush and the jazz band together, we still were presented with the opportunity to do something. It wasn't just coming and playing for no reason. We still got to have an end result, an end goal that we worked to, and we get to present it to the public. So it's the closest thing we can get to do to perform.
Yeah, Message from Mobley is a great vibe. It's a 1960s feel. I think this is a good tune for anybody to listen to, whether they like jazz or not.
Unlike a concert that is a big build-up, we have it, and then it's gone, it's a memory. This is etched in stone up on YouTube for all of these students to look back on, good memory during a tough time. But also, it's for our future students, the students we're actively recruiting right now, that they can see what kind of projects that we do at Slippery Rock. Engaging in a project like this can only be done if you have a group of students who are really going to dig in and make sure that they know that this is business and that this is something not just for school. This is real. This is going to be out there forever. And this group of students in the Jazz Ensemble worked so hard on absolutely perfecting this arrangement, and their energy when playing in the session and leading up to that was really, really inspirational, and it is a reminder of why we do what we do every day. We just want to take a minute out of this presentation to thank the Student Government Association and the administration at Slippery Rock for their support through these projects. It certainly would not be possible without them, and we thank them very much for that.
Hey everybody, I wanted to say a big thank you for including me in this project, and a thank you to Jason for putting this together, and a big thank you to Clint for the arrangement of the music, and a very special thank you to all of you who played on it. I was so pleasantly surprised when I got these recordings that I got to work with from my home studio here. And while I was bummed that we didn't get to do it in person, actually, I mean, to be honest, if we had done it in person, there wouldn't have been the recording. So, there's an upside to it. But when the pandemic hit last year, one of my first trips to be canceled was my trip to Slippery Rock. And that was a bummer, but Jason has been so great about finding creative ways to keep projects going during all of this. And it's been really fun to be a part of some of that, especially this. So I want to say a big thank you to everybody who has put their time and love and energy into this. And I look forward to hearing and seeing the final result.